Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talks with Todd.
Yeah, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Talks with Todd. I'm your host, Wit Todd, man. Welcome, season 4, episode 5. It's about to be great. Listen, today I'm here with my very dope, award-winning engineer, Telly. What's going on with you?
Hey y'all. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. So listen, today's show, man, is about to be dope. Everything is about marriage. So we talking about ages and stages of marriage, okay? And get in the comments or call in. Let us know how you feel about it, because everybody view marriage very different. Everybody didn't grow up seeing marriage. So that's what we're about to get into today. And, you know, it might be some debating on here. But
Makes for a great show.
Yeah.
Makes for a great show.
Yeah, it makes for a great show for sure. So, yeah, I definitely want everybody to tap in and tune in and just give us your opinion. Give us your take. What did you grow up seeing? So, Telly, I'm gonna start with you. Okay. Growing up, I know that you saw your grandparents grow up. You know, being married and how that affected you as a youngin. So, as you got older and wanted to get married, or thoughts of marriage came about, how did you think that it was supposed to go?
Way different now, getting out into the real world. Growing up and seeing my grandparents, they've been married for 60 years. Everything was the traditional way. I never seen them argue, never really seen them fight. A few back and forth, but it was playful.
Right.
So that's what I thought. I thought that it was functional for two people to be in a household, not have to argue, not have to fight, beef, or whatever the case may be. The kids were, even though at that time, of course, my mom and my uncles and things like that were grown and got their own family, but I know that they did live all together. My grandma was really big on love, spreading love, loving, your neighbor, and just really being family.
Right.
And oriented, pretty much. So that's what I saw growing up, that old traditional grandparent love is what I saw, and kind of getting out into the real world. And nowadays it's a bit tricky because I'm still trying to hold on to that, because that was my example of marriage. My mom is not married. I never seen her go through that, close or anything like that. So that was my example. And to see things change and, are no longer like that, it's like, okay, what do I now go off of? So now I feel like I'm trying to piece and bit together what that looks like for me now. So
okay, that's fair. For me, I didn't grow up seeing marriage. I just saw a few relationships here and there. Nothing really was sticking like that. And then by the time I did see my mom married, I really didn't like. I really wasn't used to the idea, because I was so used to, all right, you got a boyfriend right now, eventually he about to disappear, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it's going to just be going back to just being me and you. But then as time changed, she got more serious and, found her husband. By that time, I went through my stages of not being okay with it. I started off okay, then I ended up not being okay with it, because I noticed things that I didn't like with the person she was dealing with. But it was like, it wasn't a big deal, because at the end of the day, if that's what makes you happy, who am I to get in the way of that? You feel me? So that's how it kind of like changed up. But I still viewed it differently. Like when I moved to Florida, I saw my cousin be married, but even I saw a different version of him being married. Like, I saw other things happening that I thought was okay, which apparently wasn't. So
while they were married,
right? So I didn't know how to. I didn't think marriage was supposed to come with a bunch of rules or a rule book. I just looked at it like marriage is what you're supposed to make it.
Yeah, so I feel like it's no rule book. I do feel like, is what works for those two people, because it looks different for everybody.
Right, and so that's why I was never so quick to judge about how everybody moves within their marriage. Only if it's just something like if you coming to me complaining and something super foul going on and you don't handle it, now I'm saying something.
Especially if I'm giving you the advice to handle it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You come to me with something, you about to hear something. That's for sure. But as far as the just full on, what I wanted to be like when I get married, I never thought I was going to end up married.
Okay.
Like I remember looking my older cousin, dead in his eyes, and I told him, bro, I don't want to get married. I want to be a player for the rest of my life. I don't even want no kids.
Yeah. So did you fear commitment at one point?
I don't know if it was a fear thing.
Okay.
I don't know if it was fear because one day, you know what? When I did do my little year in college, right? The professor drew something on the board, and she asked everybody in the room what she felt like it looked like. Everybody said something. Everybody said something different. To me, I saw a ball and chain. So she said, "You're a fox in the hen house." I was like, what's that supposed to mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then, no, I knew what it meant, but I'm like, how did she get that from me? Because I described something like that. You feel me? So when she told me I was a fox in the hen house, I was already married. But then I started to realize as time went on, she was right. Because I am the person that could probably walk in the room in a field with a bunch of different women and have my pick of the litter. Like I could say, oh, okay, I like this about her, so I'm about to keep her close. I like that about her, I'm going to keep her close. I like that about her, I'm going to keep her close. But I'm also keep who I'm with. So when I realized that she was right about what she said back then, I said, oh, this is what she meant. So it caught on to me later on as to what she meant by what she said to me.
Helped you better understand.
Yeah, so then I started to understand. I said, okay. So now that I am married, it was like, it's too late in the game for me to try to implicate anything else other than what's already been thrown out there. So it was like, all right. And then by that time, we was on wobbly terms anyway, so it really didn't matter what I changed because as time went on, it was about to be a change anyway. Yeah. So yeah, I think that I never planned on getting married at all. I never planned on having kids.
That's interesting. See, I've always had the ideology that I wanted to get married. It's just seeing other people and what they went through or how they bumped their heads and things like that maybe made me have my guard up a little bit more because I'm like, okay, I don't have to always learn things through me bumping my head. It can be for me watching other people's and, get an example of what not to do. Right. So I'm feeling like learning from them is kind of, helping me piece together like, okay, I don't want that, but I want this. But I know that nobody is perfect. But you want to get as many of those boxes checked off as you can. So I'm definitely still open to marriage. I want to, get married and things like that. But I can say how I go forth and maybe how I pick, them is different now based on just different experiences or just things that I'm taking from, different people and what works for them or don't work for them.
Right. I get that. And, the funny thing is when you watching other people be married, you don't always see the dark times.
Exactly.
And I think if more people saw the dark times that come with marriage, and it also depends on how they are really as a couple anyway. From what you see, like if they already together and you see them on a good day and you don't like what you see, then of course
you ain't gonna handle the storm.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think more people need to see the dark times when it comes down to marriage. When they see the dark times and see how the dark times are handled, that will determine like how you handle the situation, if you want, or even make the decision on if you want to be married or not, to be honest.
Yeah, because that'll let you know if your foundation is solid too. Like if you can really weather some stuff and make it through the storm, you will find out if your foundation is steady or not, or can the slightest incident or inconvenience knock you off. It's like, and I feel like those experiences help you grow with your person as well, and be like, okay, we done been through this, so we can get through that, or whatever the case may be. So having a solid foundation and starting off at friends first is, how I feel like it should start. So I always hear my grandparents, they tell me the stories, of course, about back in the day. I always hear them say that, we used to go out, we used to go places, we used to have fun, we used to, hang out and things like that. I feel like that's what people lose too. Like what you did to get them is what you need to continue to do throughout the whole, So.
Absolutely. What's up, caller? You on the air?
What up, though, good people?
What's going on? You all right?
Hey, Miss J. Sharice, how are you?
I'm good. Something that I can relate to now. Yeah. So I never wanted to be married.
Okay.
I never wanted to be a mom. I pretty much just wanted to be a player for life.
Yep.
Um, and I did see marriage growing up. We had some people in our family that was married. I didn't know the ins and outs of their relationship, but I did see marriage, and that was just some shit that I never wanted. I never wanted that shit. That
Right.
wasn't in the cards for me. And then I end up getting married, and really found out that I was not prepared
Mm.
to be married.
What shifted, Miss
I
J. Sharice, if you don't mind me asking? What shifted to you wanting to?
so now that I am engaged again, what shifted is I want to take care of this man for the rest of his life.
Okay.
I
Okay.
I want to be the backbone for him if he's having a bad day
Oh.
or anything like that. I want to be the person that he can count on, that he knows is going to brighten his day up.
Right.
I want that now.
Okay.
Okay.
That's real.
Now I have a question. Did that come at a place where that's something that you wanted? So in return, you wanted to give that to others, but did you also want to seek that?
Um, no, I did not know when I met this man. I did not know that that's what it was going to be.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. When I met him, I was dating several other men at the same time. So, and I had just gotten my heart broke for the very first time, because I end up for the very first time, after all the engagements and marriages that I've had, for the very first time I was in love.
Oh.
um, and got my heart broke. So I pretty much said, well, if this is what this love shit does to you, yeah, fuck this. I'm going back to shit,
Being a
being a
player.
player for life.
Yep.
Because who the fuck want to be hurt like that?
Yeah,
Like,
that's people's thought process for real.
this shit is some bullshit. Like, whoever said this is what love, like, who the fuck wants you to be in love, and then the shit don't work out, and then you got to go through this heartbreak like this?
Right.
It hurt.
And start over.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right.
Because it
So
takes time to heal.
I never ever wanted to be in love again. I just wanted to have fun the rest of my life with whomever I placed in a spot for however long they was in that spot.
Mm-hmm.
But meeting my fiance now, it was something that he did, which was he made me comfortable with being who I am. I didn't
Okay.
have to make any excuses on why I was the way I was. He loved me for exactly who I was. Now, there were some things that he did not like that he talked to me about, and I did see how ugly some things was, and I ended up changing that, because I could agree, like, yeah, that's some ugly shit. I don't want to act like that or come off like that. So it was some ways of mine that I did change, because I in fact saw the ugliness in those ways.
Mm-hmm.
But he just made it okay for me to be unapologetically who I was.
And that's it right there.
Yeah.
When you could unapologetically be yourself, that is different, man. That is the different, and that's where people won't understand your choice and your person. See, people will get mad and not like what they don't like or whatever the case may be, but when they until they understand how it feels to have that freedom to be with somebody and still be you, that's priceless. That's something you're not gonna get again.
Yeah,
and
and
no time soon.
Absolutely is priceless. I do have a lot of people that's in my camp that does not like the decisions that I have made and am still making. But one thing my grandmother told me that I hold very, very I hold on to that on a daily basis. Is my path does not have to be understood by nobody else.
Right.
As
That's true.
long as I understand it, that's all that matters.
Yes.
And it is a difficult path to be on when you don't have anybody to write it with. It makes it that much more challenging.
Yeah.
But I am not coming off my path for nobody because I understand my assignment now.
Yep.
And I'm not going to do nothing other than my assignment now.
Good. Good.
Nice.
You know,
And
I
then
think
go ahead.
I think for people listening who's in a position that has someone that you know has your back no matter what, understand that things change.
Yeah.
You're going to change. That person's going to change, just like the days change and just like the months and seasons change. All you have to do is know that at the end of the day, no matter what change happens, that you love that person without any exclusions. And
Yeah.
as long as you can focus on that, you'll get through the little changes that should be happening between the both of you throughout the relationship.
Because it's gonna happen.
Definitely.
That's in any relationship.
Yeah, and you got to know how to maneuver through that. You know,
Definitely.
everybody don't like change, so that might not be the person for you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And to Ms. J. Cherie's point, the fact that she was willing to change some things about herself for that man shows a lot. Because
Yeah.
some women are just naturally, resistant. Like, I'm not changing. It is what it is. It can affect me, for who I am, or that's it. But the fact that she, he had to talk with me. He explained some stuff wasn't, the most liking, and I was able to change that.
Yeah.
That lets me know right there that she was actually ready. He made her feel, on a point where I can be vulnerable with you.
And he was able to communicate what he didn't like. Some dudes
Exactly.
don't know how to do that
Exactly.
either.
And that's the key right there. Like, people are like, if you don't like something about someone, it's the way that you have to bring it to them.
Yeah.
And not only that, they have to trust that you have their best, you have the best intentions for their life, regardless if you're going to be in it or not. You want them to win.
Yeah.
So what's coming out your mouth is not dogging them or belittling them. You just want to make them the best version of them.
Yep.
Not the best version that you think they should be, the best version that will be the best for them.
Most definitely.
You're just reaping the benefits of being there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. And that's real, man. We definitely appreciate you calling in.
Thank you.
No
Yes,
doubt. I'm
for real.
listening.
For sure.
All righty. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
So, Telly, would you be able to do that? Would you be able to, make a change that somebody didn't like?
I would. If it was done effectively and healthy, I would definitely make the conscious effort to make that change for the right person or who I felt was worth it. Because like I was saying earlier, I don't feel like anybody is perfect. I feel like it just makes sense for what works for you too, right? So I know you're going to have your problems, you're going to have your issues. It's really just pick your best person and settle down with them and just make it work.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to go through something. So I'm giving and taking in the relationship. I know that's a biggie that you have to do, or in a marriage. So yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all. Now, if he came off and tried to be,
Controlling about it?
yeah, or combative behind it, then that's something different. That'll make the person push away.
So what's the proper approach if somebody don't like something that you do? Like, what's something you've commonly heard, you've heard on the regular in a relationship that somebody dislike, and it all adds up?
Me not being too open too soon, like expressing myself or expressing my feelings. I'll hold that back, or I'll wait till I know I'm at a point where we're both at that point. So that if I be vulnerable and say like, hey, I like you, or yeah, that's cool, or I want to move to another step, they'll be feeling or saying the same way too. So that we'll both be on that same page, and it doesn't allow for one to be like, oh, that was so nice, thank you for sharing. I'm not, really there yet. Like I don't want that. Now that I don't know if I'll be able to handle. That's why I'm saying like just that was a issue, not being able to express myself and or my feelings.
Got you.
Yeah.
I think for
with
me,
proper communication.
Yeah, I think for me the most common thing to come up in relationships is how passionate I can get about certain things. So sometimes we could talk about something. I might get passionate, but don't even realize that I'm getting passionate. So it's coming off like I'm getting an attitude, but I'm really not. I'm really not getting upset or angry. It's just like, how are you not understanding what I'm saying is where the passion comes from.
Yeah.
So when I'm trying to explain myself and somebody's not getting it, or especially the person that I'm with, that's when my voice may elevate. It's like, how are you not understanding what I'm saying? I'm putting it the plainest way possible and giving examples. So how are you not getting what I'm saying? Or do you just not want to hear what I'm saying or get where I'm coming from? So you got to take that into account as well.
That's how it can come across in certain situations. Then that's when you have to step back and be like, okay, we may be really seeing things from two different, perspectives, because we live two different worlds, two different lives and things like that. So you always have to try to take that into consideration. I know at the time it don't always be the easiest, because like you said, you are passionate about certain things, but I feel like that's you knowing your person and you able to talk and be like, hey, I either need a minute, or hey, my bad, I don't mean to be passionate about it. But I feel like the first step is just bringing it to your attention. I feel like how that's done is big. It shouldn't be brought up in an argument or nagging or anything like that. I feel like it should just be a calm sit down, like, hey, these are some things that maybe we could work on to be able to better help our relationship, or, anything along those lines. I feel like will be an effective way versus nitpicking or putting somebody down because of it.
Very interesting that you say that. Now, here's the thing. I've addressed things to my wife that I didn't care for, right? And when I did it, it was like, okay, I hear you. But I didn't see them taking heed to what was said. So then I bring it up while we're into it. Now, mind you, I said this on a good day. So whatever I say on the good day, I believe I can say on the bad day. Of course, it comes out different on the bad day.
Hit different, yeah.
Right. So after all of that stuff happened, right, I'm talking to my wife and I'm like, yo, why is it that when I say the stuff that I say to you that I don't care for on a good day, you don't really take heed to it till I say it on a bad day? And back to your point, you said it hit different when somebody says it out of anger.
Yeah, because they can hear you a little louder, So I'm not saying that it's the most effective, but I don't know. Because at that point, I feel like people are then listening to respond.
Right.
So they're like, oh, no, I got to hear what you said to be able to respond. So that could be, a thing. It could be a defense mechanism. But I feel like the delivery, it definitely makes a difference.
Yeah, I think so too. I do believe that, when I was seeing, I didn't really see marriage like that growing up. But when I did, one of the most common things that I saw is somebody not speaking up, saying what they did. Well, at least I didn't see it. I didn't see anybody saying, hey, I got a problem with this. I didn't see too much of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and I was like, yo, I'm not going to be like that. Because I know for a fact, if I don't like something, I'm going to at least say something. Whether you change it or not is up to you. But
yeah, do you it's the saying that they say you can win the war or whatever, but you lose the war but win the battle, essentially. So it's like you really got to pick your battles when it comes to certain things. I feel like certain things, even if you sit down and you actually hear stuff out loud, like Miss J. Sharice was saying, she said, hey, I was able to actually hear how some of that stuff was sounding. Yeah. So I feel like when you actually, bring your partner essentially into your world and help them understand, I feel like they'll be able to receive it better. And actually be able to act on it quicker than it would, or maybe them dragging their feet or anything along those lines. Yeah,
I believe so too. Another stage of my life where I did feel like marriage was possible was when I started coming across more like-minded women.
Okay.
Like that's when marriage started to really appear in my mind. Like, okay, marriage might not be such a bad thing. I don't mind being around this person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Laughing, talking to him, whatever. Yeah. I could do this. I might be able to do. But see, that's where it can become more of an illusion, because when you don't see that dark side of a person, everything looks great. Everything sounds great. You don't see like what underlying issues might be there until it all blows up. Which is why I would rather see who I'm dealing with moving forward, so I know how to maneuver around it, or just try to keep it in the place to where it doesn't get worse. And that's all I could do. But I do believe that a lot of times people do love the fact that they're like-minded people around, and they be like, okay, marriage might not be so bad. And that's what happened with me. That's when I started to change. And I forgot how old I was. I was still young. Mm-hmm. I was young enough to know better, but it was like I was old enough to still not care like that.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, it was different. It was different for me. But when I started looking at it, I'm like, man, you know, this wouldn't be so bad. But then, of course, by me dealing with various women, it was like I was bunching everybody together too. Like, yo, this is the perfect girl. It's like 4 different girls.
Exactly. So, to make up for that one,
Yeah. So that's another way that, you know, it could get tricky and kind of hard, because it's like, damn, I got to just choose one. It's something great about all of them. Mm-hmm. So
that's why I say you got to pick your person and, you know, really rock with it, because you're not going to find anybody completely perfect. And like I said earlier, you want to check off as many boxes as you can. You may not check off all of them, and if you do, that's great.
You could at least check off half.
That's what I said, but a good majority, it'll make it to where it's like, okay, when stuff do get rocky or shaky, we can still withstand a storm. So
what are your boxes?
For marriage, definitely no kids. I want his first to be my first. That's something big I'm pushing for when it comes to marriage. I want him to be supportive. I want him to be just encouraging, empowering. I want him to have dreams, goals, a plan, ambition. I don't know. I want him to kind of, you know, have went through some things, not tragically or in life, but just to pretty much different seasons. You know, I wanted him to have went through different seasons at the age that he is at, so he can know how to maneuver in those seasons and things like that before moving into marriage. Okay. At this stage of marriage, I feel like you should be able to, you know, come healed, know what you want, and be upfront and honest about what you want. Time don't need to be wasted. So, yeah, those are some of my boxes.
What's up, Carla? You on the air?
Good conversation, y'all. Good conversation. Look, I was
Thank you, Dorian.
Thank you.
I rolled over and I realized I'm like, oh, Todd's telling me about the show. Let me get on it. And, no, I agree with Ty. Like, sometimes, you know, you'll find different pieces from different women. Mm-hmm. Really kind of like. But what I realized, this is something that I realized. First of all, I try to tell everybody, take your time. You should never marry a person within 3 to 5 years, because you, like you just said before, you got to find, how are you when you are down? How are you when you're up? How are you when you're mad? Because I don't like when people want to raise their voice or talk to me like I'm 6 years old.
Yeah.
You know, that'll make me a little, because typically I let a lot of stuff slide, because the whole thing about people is you gotta know who you're dealing with as far as reading who they are. That's why I say you gotta take some time.
Yeah.
Everybody's rushing. Oh, I want to be. No. First of all, the best thing is sow your oats, and that's for men and women. Get that going out and running the streets, being on the scene. Get that out your system.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
You got to learn to be in a marriage. You kind of got to be
nothing outside.
It ain't. Unless you want to find it for fodder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or if you all going out, that's different. But solo dolos, it ain't nothing outside no more.
No, like I said before, like I was saying on those comments earlier in the other show. Like, you know, I go out. I've been places. I remember being at Day Sage one night. I'm down near downtown, and there was some teachers in there. There was some beautiful sisters in there, and they in there eating, and they over in the corner. I didn't say a word to them. I just asked the bartender, what they eating? Mm-hmm. They bill. There you go. Because I'm happy that y'all sisters in here, but you're educators. You know, you probably go to the, working at the school next door to Day Sage. Yeah. And so sometimes you can go out just for a little slight entertainment for yourself to find some amusement. And sometimes, like Todd said, all of those different pieces from different women, because every female that I know, there's something special about them that make me like them. But
Okay.
I don't have to sleep with them though.
There you go.
I'm over that.
There you
I'm
go.
over that part.
Yes.
I actually will. I guess like what I kind of feel like what Dame Dash be saying. He's like, you always gonna find me being around dudes is corny.
Yes.
Because I can't learn from a lot of niggas. I can't learn from niggas. I can't learn from niggas. They don't have no.
I disagree. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I mean, it's the thing, like how women are like, I kind of be like, well, I don't like to, she's
be around a lot of women. I get it. I was just kidding.
I like to keep company with women, and my old lady know that. She like, well, she just look because I was honest with her. I'm like, listen,
that's it.
My life, I know a lot of women. I deal with women currently. I make money off of women. I make money with women. I know a ton of women. You cannot be insecure with me.
Right. That's real.
Now, I feel like it's the way that you present it, though. You're honest about it. You're being, you being open. You letting her know what it is or what it's not. And I'm sure with your friends that are females, you have a line set or a line that they can't cross, and they know that.
Well, they don't want to cross it because once you make something official like a referee's whistle, they don't want to step on no toes because they know my wife is beautiful, right?
That's real.
So they don't want to. She's not. You ain't gonna hear about her in the streets,
right?
You're not gonna see her nowhere. You hear me? Because she's one of them veterans from back in the day, like. Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Come home, put her pajamas on, whatever she's comfortable with. She don't have to go out. So, but she knows I'm a introverted extrovert. Like I know I'm a charmer. That's just in my natural state.
Same.
I like to be around women. I like to have conversations with women. Now with guys, we could talk about sports. We could talk about this, but that's almost where it ends at.
Right.
Okay.
Stifling. Unless you like somebody like Todd or Mike. Look, it's very few
because I was going to say, because you can get the same, you can get that same feel from a guy that you can from a woman in a sense of, it being different things in that man that you take a liking to. Yeah.
Right. Like certain dudes like with stuff like Todd's, because I think we kind of on the same level. Like how we're approaching everything. He's an ex. He's like we love hip hop. We love music. We can, certain dudes I can't have intelligent conversation. So I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna sit there quiet while I let you go in here. Like I say, my cousin, he'll sit there and he wanna be the star of the party and loud.
Brag,
And it's like, dude, you ain't even cut like this. You was a nerd. You know what I mean? But okay, whatever.
Let him enjoy himself while he out.
Yeah, exactly.
So for me, so when I go out with him, oh, lady, like, shit, you with that clown ass, And I'm like,
She's like, I ain't got nothing to worry about.
Yep.
Oh, you shouldn't. But see, my thing is, she knows that I am a little, I ain't gonna say I cheat, but you gotta give.
Now I have a question. Do you find yourself ever stopping that because you've, identified that your wife is your person, that this is it? Like, nobody is coming above her, essentially. Do you ever feel like you will change your ways of the charming or maybe going out more frequently than she does?
Will I change that?
Yes.
I don't go out anyway. I'm too big. Listen, I am one of those people who really are going for business purposes. Okay. I'm really busy. I don't really try to go waste no time. I am more, I've been off the porch so long that it's so cool to be on the porch. That's cool.
Okay.
That's way more liver than trying to run up and try to be out in the scene. You won't catch me too. I can go to certain bars and I can probably get love, and I'm like, nah, I'm cool. I'd rather go home, watch my league pass,
in peace.
Drink in peace. I feel like this, and I'll be telling myself, because it's almost like a pep talk. I got everything at home. I got everything.
That's how it be. When you
and my
got
money.
everything at home, it's
like
everything.
And plus, I don't have to tip, and I'm a tipper.
Right.
Yes.
I might be tipped to buy your meal.
I can buy my own bottle.
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
I'm polite like that. I like to be, if I'm going to do it, let me be out. But see, that'll get you, it's not necessarily in trouble. See, because if I'm driving for a living, my livelihood is tied to my license. So I don't like to be out here catching a DUI.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I really take that shit. That's one of the core things. But two, I've had my taste. I've lived in a high rise downtown. I've procured women. Like I told somebody, I was ooping dudes. You know what I mean? Somebody, it's just that kind of life you get. I overstand women now.
Yeah.
I'm more y'all defendant rather as trying to put y'all in a pedestal of, oh, she's fine or she's this. I want to have the intellect, the respect for you based off of your actions and your intellect as opposed to your body. And in other words, I just don't objectify my sisters no more.
Yeah.
Does not mean that I'm not attractive.
Yeah.
Or that something can't
it's
come
bigger
around.
than that, though.
Yeah, it's way bigger
but
than
it's
that.
bigger than, and then I got the respect for my mate to not even entertain all of that. If it's going, like I tell a lot of dudes, I know, like I said, I think I said in the comments, like I know guys that are married that brag about it, come to me and look what I'm doing. I'm looking like, first of all, you lame as hell.
Right.
Tell them again.
Yeah.
Second of all, look, and like you said, look, for niggas that's always lying on their dick, I'm building the case on you. I'm keeping all that physical evidence.
Yep.
You not seeing me, you better keep that info in your phone, because if you ever cross me, guess who did this information?
Yep.
I got the receipts for you, because I don't like what you doing, because somebody told me one time, hey man, check your skirt. You know you got a good one. Why you ripping and running out here? You
hey, that's real.
Right, like whoa, like listen, calm yourself, man. Everybody don't like. Look, some people might like your person, your mate, and they may not like you.
Exactly.
Philandering around, and it could be your homeboy, and it ain't that you trying to get to a woman. It's just the fact that you just a punk for that whole shit. Like why
not going?
Do that?
Yep.
Right.
That's real. Hey.
Go ahead.
No, I was just getting ready to say that's people fail to realize, like, this is why I like women. This is why I hang around. I would rather hang around more women than men. Men have the tendencies of jumping jealous, jumping envious very quickly all over one woman. And it start over just one woman, and he might not even be interested in her, but just off of the strength of you with them, it's a problem for them. So I've seen this happen, seen it a million times, and what I realize is that this is why I would rather be around women. Women, you at least know what you about to get with women. Men, they want to be sneaky and try to hide this and underhand that and hustle hate and all this other shit. Like, no, when you dealing with women, you ain't got to deal with all that. And then going back to your other point, you do not have to have sex with every woman you encounter. That is key. That is key, because guess what? One of these days, you're going to need these women you're going to need somebody for a favor. And because you didn't pipe one of them down, it's not going to go in your favor. When you got them women's minds, you can get the body whenever you want to, but you got access to everything else once you got their mind. So you don't have to have their body. And that's where a lot of men fall short.
You just put somebody that I often tell people. I'm like, you know that she's sleeping with you. She don't like you, right? She really don't like you.
People don't want to hear that reality.
No, they don't. Niggas, especially guys, don't want to know that, because
that hurt that ego.
They don't realize, like, I'm like, nigga, you just like a ointment. She got a scratch.
Yep.
In most cases.
That's it. Okay?
Especially if she ain't married to you, she just giving you that. And she gonna tell me, and guess what? She gonna be more loyal to me, more helpful for me, because I ain't care about that.
And the whole time she telling you, and you know about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you still oh, okay, that's cool.
I've got females that are married that'll turn around and do the same thing with guys, like what dudes would do, but not as much as with guys. Because like I say, I know so many guys, and I'm like, you so insecure.
Yeah.
But I tell you, I could pop your bubble in a heartbeat. Keep that. Look, I'm always the type of person. Like, keep that information to yourself, man.
Yeah.
If you're gonna cheat out of town, go out. Look, take a flight. Go out of town. Do all that.
Hey, one of this artist, Dave East, he said something like I really think he was in the wrong era of rap, because he actually was dope for a minute, and he sounded like he was from our era, but he said the realest shit I ever heard. He said, "Do your dirt by yourself. Your friends be the one that's telling."
Damn right.
Ever since I heard that, I was just like, "Yep, he ain't lying." Yeah.
Yep.
For real.
Yep. Because at the end of the day,
they closest to you, so they gonna know everything.
And that's the whole hanging around dude shit. Is the fact of it is niggas is dick envy. It's men approval. It's incel behavior.
Yes.
You see somebody with a chick and you really want her, but you don't. Then you'll go out here and get a chick that look just like her.
Yeah.
It's that Me Too shit.
Yes, men do
It's
a lot of sucker shit, man.
That's crazy.
A lot of sucker, and all it come from, Todd, is insecurities and men not going out here sowing their oats, being men, like being on your own. Stop living with your mama. Stop living with the group.
Yeah.
Stay on your own, pay some mortgages, pay some bills. Then you're going to understand, and then you're going to have friends.
Yeah.
You're going to have women going to come over. And I tell them, listen, date them all. The big ones, tall ones, short. Get it out your system.
Yes. Yeah.
Get them out your system so you can normalize being in the company of a woman without, like you said, having to sleep with everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
You
what's
got a lot of dudes out here that got that issue. And you be like, and I be shocked because it be people older than me that's like that.
Yeah, same here, bro.
Yeah.
I had an old head holler at me and tell me like, man, listen, dog, I don't know what I missed when I was your age, but whatever I missed, it seemed like you got it. You need to stay on your path. And I was just like, damn, dog, that's crazy to hear that from I'm talking about 57, something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm 40. I just turned 40 in June.
Yeah.
So to hear that, I was just like, wow,
You hear
okay.
that? Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing because that means that you have done stuff that they have never done.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's just so.
They may not have had the example either. And
Yeah.
then, too, just because you're an older age don't mean you're at that age. They can be stuck at that 20, 30-year-old them.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
true.
that was popping, that got the women or whatever the case may be. They may still be stuck there.
Saying that's the problem. They stuck in a place where they never had it. Like Todd said earlier, you got guys that out here that ain't never sold their oats in the sense of being in that coochie. Like I said, I tell people, date them all. Get them all. But see, you got to be single. You got to be standing on your own, though.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You do.
If you're running broad in and out mama house, or you got your homeboys in the next room, and they in it. No.
Yep.
You got to have
crazy.
it quiet.
Yeah.
That get old.
Because that's how you're going to learn your romance side. You're going to be in tune with yourself. You got to be disciplined to have it all to that, even if it's just one room apartment.
Yeah, it's still yours.
It's yours. And pay it and at least get that a year or two under your belt before you decide you want to be in some type of relationship. You want to be, because you got to really, I think the biggest issue too, what everybody is, self with who you know. Do you know yourself? And the only way you're going to know yourself is to get somewhere and get quiet and it's just you.
Yeah, sit with you.
That's real, man.
Sit with yourself.
We definitely appreciate you calling, bro. That's real.
Yes, thank you so
Appreciate
much,
talking, man.
Dorian.
I was trying to catch you before the show was over with. I was like,
appreciate
damn,
No, we
what about my
appreciate
nap?
you so much.
Definitely.
He woke us for his never. I gotta go to work. I got
Yeah.
something to do.
That's what's up.
I still got to beat it to the port real quick, but shit, I just wanted to throw that in there.
Appreciate
No,
it,
thank
bro.
you so much, Dorian. We
Appreciate
appreciate you.
Definitely.
Okay, I'm gonna read a few of the comments.
All right.
Ms. J. Cherie said, "Yo." Krishan said, "If you are selfish / self-centered, you shouldn't get married." And
True.
I agree.
I agree.
You have to be very selfless going into that. It's a lot of give and take. Ms. J. Cherie said, "See, I've been told, even coming to you in the best way possible, that my words are still coming off as I'm down to you. And sometimes I just don't understand that." Some people would never get that. Some people really just feel like you talking to them is coming forth as an attack. That can be, something from their past, a defense mechanism. So
also, some men are not used to strong women either. So that's another
true.
thing. So
That's true.
when you speak with such vigor, you know what I'm saying, your tone, they still don't get it or whatever. Even if you don't come at them like that, just some men are lost as to what the hell they woman even want. So when you do present something to them, they're like, what? Why are you saying that? It comes off as offensive to them because they're not used to a woman speaking their mind. They're used to having sheep around them.
That's true.
What's really the problem.
And I feel like a healthy way too is to always update that. Always ask, hey, if there's anything that I can, do. You need any help in this area, things like that, because they may not want to say it, but if you ask, they may tell you.
Yeah.
Just always update that list to make sure you're doing what you need to do. And with lifing and things like that, it's easy to kind of lose, sight of a relationship. Not that you want to, not that you don't like the person. It's just everything and all the other hats that you have to wear. So nothing wrong with sitting down, talking to your mate and updating that list. Ms. J. Cherie said recorded conversations really helps. She said, my person checked off all of my boxes I needed in my mate. That's great. So happy for you. Krishan said, good list. Miss J. Sri said, I love to keep company with men, actual men. Platonic friendships, relationships, and things like that are dope.
Yeah.
You can learn so many things from men or from them. Mark said, what up, though?
What's up, my guy?
And Gigian said, hey.
What's up, Gigi?
Hey, Gigian.
Yeah, man, and I think that'd be the problem. Like with a lot of people, they get used to a certain type. That's why it's like back to what Dorian said. Date them all. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit up here and just stick to a certain type or what you think is your type, because a lot of people's type really is just programming. You going by what you think is supposed to be beautiful. It's beauty in a lot of people that are not sitting up here on the runway. So when you start noticing that, and when you get out here more, and back to what Dorian said, sowing your royal oats, you gotta do it. You gotta do that, because you need to see what you like, what you dislike, what you could take from other people. So I get that, but everybody else don't get that, and everybody else don't have that somebody in their lives to preach that to them. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes even if they had them, they ain't gonna listen, because programming makes you be a follower. I was always the type of guy to step outside the line, step outside the dorm. I'm like, oh, that's what y'all doing? Y'all all doing that? Okay, I'm about to go over here and do this.
Right.
I don't know what it was about me. When I noticed that it was just it seemed like a clown show in high school.
Because at a certain age, you have to put childish things away. And to be able to get something that you never had, you have to do something that you never did. You cannot unlock new doors with old keys. So, with that being said, literally, there's nothing wrong with, letting the childish things be the childish things, moving forward, and actually moving forward, finding your person. Because you don't want to be 40, 50, 60 and plus and stand still saying, oh, this my little friend, this my boyfriend, this my girlfriend,
that sound wild.
This my little friend. Like, no, if we actually, together and sticking around each other that much, a title, some type of commitment, I feel like it's necessary. And I know a lot of people feel like titles are not a thing, but I feel like that signifies how other people address your person, not necessarily for you. So look at it like that.
That's real. Now I got a question for you.
Yes.
If when you do get married, are you cool with your husband or your soon-to-be husband approaching you with the idea of not bringing the government into your marriage?
Now at this age and stage in my life, I would be open to it. I would be open to hear what he has to say. It'll take a lot of talking, because I'm used to the traditional, having the government involved and the whole ceremony, all of that. I know you can have all of that without having the legal part, but I feel like it's all or nothing in a sense. But I will be open to hearing what he has to say. I wouldn't shoot him down.
Right. Before
the younger me would be like, absolutely not, no. But now you got a little grace, so you use your razzle dazzle to your advantage.
Okay.
So yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Jamie Hill said, "Third marriage is my charm." Hey, same here.
Third time's the charm.
Yeah, and the reason why I say that though is because this was the one marriage that I was in that actually put a lot of women can see your potential and not do shit with it. My wife, she saw my potential and was like, dope. Okay, I'm about to push you to be greater. And it ain't just going to be for me, because we might not work, but you definitely can be greater than what you are.
And that's what you need, especially if you haven't seen it in yourself yet.
Yeah.
And somebody telling you like, no, that's why I don't know. I'm not too down on potential. Yeah. Because I feel like somewhere within that potential, I saw it. You just haven't seen it yet. So
yeah. And when you open their eyes to it, it's up to them. When they notice what you notice, it's up to them how they move after that.
Exactly.
And that's gonna be the determining factor how y'all about to move for the rest of the time y'all together.
Yes.
But hey, listen, I definitely appreciate you joining me. I definitely appreciate everybody that tapped in. Like, this has been a great show.
It has, definitely a dope show.
You ain't got no questions for me? I'm on my third strike. So what's up? What you got?
I guess at the different stages of your marriage, I know you were at different ages. What can you say has been like the biggest difference between maybe each one?
Oh, now that was a good question. All right.
So I had to pull this one out.
My first marriage, I was very immature.
Okay.
So I realized I handled a lot of situations in a combative manner. So it was like, something was said that was wrong or whatever. Instead of me being calm and cool about it, I'm matching energy because I didn't know any better.
Got it.
So I went from that to not matching energy, but I didn't say enough either. Or no, take it back. It's not that I didn't say enough. I didn't show enough action in the second marriage. So
got you.
Leading up to this one, now I'm more vocal and I'm showing action. You know what I'm saying? So it was like I needed those two to get here anyway.
It's like a combination of both was able to give you the success of the. Okay.
Right.
Nice.
So I needed that. So that's why I don't feel ashamed or anything when I tell somebody that I'm on my third marriage. I don't care.
This is your life, your story,
exactly.
and you got it right. So that's all that matters. Some people still haven't gotten it right on 4th, 5th, and 6th. So it's what makes sense for you.
But that's because, and you know what? A lot of people are not getting marriage right. It's not even just because they got married young. They never tried to understand where they went wrong in those marriages.
The accountability.
Yeah. So when you start understanding where you go wrong in marriages, that's when you like, okay, I need to change this next time. Okay, I messed up here. This was my biggest downfall. Let me change this for the next one. Yeah. And I'm not saying be a serial married person. Like, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is if you really love marriage and you love that whole being together, being with this one person for the rest of your life type stuff, then you need to strive to be great. That's it. And to be great, you got to get outside your comfort zone too. So your wife or your husband might push you in a direction that you're not really looking forward to going to, but that's going to help you in the long run. You can't run from nothing. One thing none of us can outrun: time and death.
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
Our name on it.
Exactly.
so, yeah.
That's it. Got another caller. What's up, caller?
You on the air.
Okay, y'all. I got one more. I got a tip.
Okay.
Okay. Let's hear it.
I got a tip that I've been sharing with couples and people lately. When you and your person are in that struggling time, let me tell you what you were supposed to be doing. You were supposed to have a vault built. And in this vault, this is when you put those beautiful memories that you guys have been having with each other, those beautiful times, those endearing times, those moments when your soul just lit up and smiled with that person. All that is supposed to go in this vault. And when you are going through the rough times that every relationship is going to go through, because things are changing,
right?
You should be able to open that vault and live in those memories to get you through that time.
That's real. I agree.
Bad times are going to come.
Yeah.
If you think that everything is going to be peachy keen and rosy, it's not.
Nah.
Yeah, don't even get
now,
in it.
I am in a battle right now. I am in the hardest battle that I've ever had to be in my life with a man that's going through his own battle. And instead of running away, talking shit, you know what I'm saying, acting out and all this other stuff that I could be doing, that a lot of women that I know, like, oh girl, I wouldn't be sitting there taking that. I'd be doing A, B, C, D, F, G. Well, that's because this ain't your path, it's mine. But nonetheless,
there you go.
I sit back and I live in that vault that was built with our memories, because it is definitely carrying me through the hard times. I have a person who's dealing with battling depression right now. And it is something that is a very, very difficult thing for him to go through. So right now he has no space for me in his life right now. It's all about him and him trying to battle his way out of this, without being on the medication that he could be on, because it didn't agree with his body the way he wanted it to. So I'm left out on, I guess you want to kind of say, a limb of not speaking to him for weeks at a time, him not wanting to see my face at all, because it stresses him out. And I'm sitting back and I'm going, well, damn, what am I supposed to do without you now? And instead of doing some things that would jeopardize my relationship, I'm sitting back in the vault that I built, and I'm waiting ever so patiently.
Yeah, I feel like
So,
patience is key.
Yeah, it is, and that's actually good advice too. Like you saying, take all the good and just don't even think. Well, not don't think about the bad, but take the good and keep that good locked in, because that's what you got to hold on to. Because I mean, let's be real. Every couple go through their thing. You know, they every couple goes through something drastic and life changing. You have to go through that stuff in order to grow. But you're saying hold on to the good. And that's something that a lot of couples don't think about, especially in the heat of the moment. I haven't, and you know what I'm saying, my spouse hasn't. So especially when it's time to like narrow down whatever the problem is, nobody's thinking about that. But that is a good idea. That's a great idea. That's one of the things that I threw out there before, like, you know, hey, watch what you say when you mad, because you speaking, you putting stuff out there that you know you wouldn't be able to deal with if it happened. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying you got to be nice and polite when you pissed off, but you ain't got to say the craziest shit you ever said just because you mad either. So
absolutely.
So I've always been an advocate of watching what you say.
And I implore you guys, in the heat of it, record yourself. Record yourself. I've recorded so many conversations of him and I heard how I sounded. I heard the words that I use and how I use them. I'm a very big advocate now, because I wasn't before in my two previous marriages. Now I do not call this man nothing that I would not want him to call me, and I don't call him anything that he would deem disrespectful. I don't use those words with him. Even when I'm angry, because at the end of the day, I can't take those words back.
Right.
Yes.
And I never want him to feel like I have disrespected him as a man because I've called him out his name just because I'm angry. I never go at him like that. And it took a long now how I got there, I can't even tell y'all.
Right.
But I can tell y'all
Emotion.
the other two previous husbands of mine will tell you, I didn't groove, because I will call you a motherfucking bitch in a minute.
I was saying men are really good. I mean, big on respect. So
yeah, definitely. I put respect over love.
And see, here's the thing with the woman. Once we say our thing, we over and done with it. But when we disrespect y'all keep that. Y'all hold that. You know.
Yeah.
And just because we over it, you know, the situation is done. Y'all still feel that way weeks after. So we don't take the time to think about that part of things too, like how those words really affect y'all. So,
and everybody is going to get upset, you know, and I understand it's easier said than done to walk away from a conversation, especially if you have a mate like me. I may not allow you to walk away from this conversation because I'm not done speaking my piece. I don't care if you're done speaking. I'm not done speaking, and for me, it's rude for you to stop me from speaking my piece because you full right now.
Yeah, that's only fair.
The conversation,
right?
Like I've had to learn. I really have had to learn. Okay, shut up. He no longer wants to hear anything. So your words is not whatever else you need to say. It ain't gonna get through.
Not right now.
Right now, just walk away. But I'm telling you guys, if you take yourself and hear how y'all talk to each other, it will hurt you so bad.
That's really good.
You will not want that person to ever feel that hurt from your words.
Yeah.
If you hear yourself, you really need to take the time to understand that even though you are heated and upset and angry, that gives you no right to be disrespectful and hurtful.
Yep.
Because
I agree.
You're feeling a certain way.
I agree.
So
Emotions be high.
Those small little points. You know, it's the small things that you can do in a relationship that can make it last. Now the cheating and all that, that's gonna have to be another episode.
Right.
We're gonna need a part 2.
Yeah.
Simple communication and talking to each other. It's so simple that we make it harder than what it needs to be.
So complex.
Yeah.
Because everybody want to be heard and they think their point is right.
Yep.
So
correct.
Yeah. I'm a victim myself. So
I'ma definitely take heed to that though. For real, we definitely appreciate you calling back.
Let me tell you this, and then I'ma hang up. My marriage this time, I will marry this man at a flagship pole before I want the government in our business.
Okay, that's what I said, Miss J. Sharice. I'm more open to it now. Before it was a definitely no, but now I would have to hear his point, and it would have to make sense for me. I wouldn't want him to be telling me that he want to do this so that he can, get out of everything and what a marriage is actually supposed to be. But if I find that he can, actually be a husband, be a provider, and all these things, and check off all of my boxes, and he's doing it out of a place of genuineness, then we can talk. But with conversation, you can know that.
Now, my fiance, he doesn't want to marry me at a flagship pole. It's his first marriage, but he wants the whole kit and caboodle.
You hear me? I'm like,
he wants the whole kit and caboodle, and when
it's
we
his
first
first time
started talking about this, I was so dead set against it. But this man has opened my heart so much that I cannot wait.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to change. Like, I never changed my last name. I just added on their name.
Oh, so you don't even want to hyphenate. You want to change.
Yes,
That's fine.
I cannot wait to take all my hyphenated names and throw them in the garbage and just have one.
That's real.
kid.
Nice.
Thank you so much, Ms. J. Cherie. That is real, and I appreciate you sharing those tips.
Most definitely. We appreciate you.
You guys are welcome. All right, I'm coming off the show now. It was a great show. Just
Thank you.
FYI.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Make sure you tap in.
I want y'all to think about somebody think about having a conversation with people who really are dealing with people who's loving someone in depression, because it is the hardest thing for us to do.
Yeah, definitely. I get it.
So we I think that we're so many people are talking about mental stability. We really need to have a conversation of how hard it is to be dedicated and love someone who is going through a crisis like this, because it's not easy.
Definitely.
It really isn't.
And you may be that person that can help them, because it does take a village, especially when you're going through something. So
it does, but I will probably cry so much on the show. People probably be like, okay, damn.
No,
I love a good tear.
Yeah, no, it's all right. You know what? We gonna talk about an interview, so that's cool. We can do that.
Let's get it. It's 2025.
Like I said, this season all about marriage, so you already know I'm with it.
Yes.
All right, y'all.
Thank you.
For sure.
Thank you.
All right, peace. Yeah, man. I'm glad. Oh, we got another caller.
Yes.
What's up, caller?
Hey, fam, it's Krishan.
What's
Hey,
going on?
how are
all
you?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
Doing great.
good.
How about you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Good. Happy New Year.
Yeah. How you feeling?
I'm hanging in there.
Okay. Good.
You know, it's something going around, but I'm hanging in there.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
You got this.
I just wanted to call in. Great show.
Thank you.
Great show.
Thank you.
I couldn't even get in the first time I tried to call, so great show.
I'm glad you spent the block.
Yeah. So did you have anything you wanted to add to the marriage, to the topic?
A couple of things.
Okay.
When it comes to the potential.
Okay.
Realizing, your person has potential. The thing is, you have to see some of that potential being realized.
True.
Okay.
Because I've been in that space before with somebody. It's like, okay, this guy has great potential. But what I learned in that is that I can't want more for him than he wants for himself.
There you go.
That's very true.
That is true.
So you will have to see some of that potential being realized, and that this person wants to grow and wants to be better.
Yep.
Another thing when it comes to, I put this in the comments, is that having the mindset that your spouse, your husband, your wife, we're teammates.
That's true.
You and I.
Yep.
You know, and I think it helps when you know that this person really has your best intentions at mind and in their heart.
Definitely.
You know, so it's like, yeah, you're not, even though we're in a disagreement, you're not my enemy.
Yes, and I think people,
That's important.
I think people forget that. So that's a very great point. Like, just because we don't, we don't see eye to eye, that don't mean I hate you, and I shouldn't feel like you hate me. So yeah, that's real.
And it helps you to control your tongue. You know, when you realize, why would I say something crazy to my teammate? That's not helping the team.
Right.
Definitely not helping the team.
One of the things that I had started that I have incorporated in, some of my relationships is when we have to have a hard discussion or, there's an issue at hand, is before we sit down and have this talk, we might need to go to God in prayer first.
That's real. That's real.
Because a lot of times your pride and your ego is gonna present itself.
They show up too.
Yeah.
They show up real hard.
Yeah.
And another thing is, if this is coming from a woman's perspective, if this is your husband, a lot of women might not like this, what I'm about to say. You might be in a disagreement, but if you've chosen this man to be head of your family, you might have to submit to the decision that he's making.
There you go.
Okay. Okay.
And in that, as a wife and as a believer, my job is to pray that God gives him the wisdom to make the right decisions and choices.
That's what a helpmate come in at.
Absolutely.
I
So,
like that.
marriage is it's huge.
Yes. Yes, it is.
And I said earlier, if you are selfish or self-centered, marriage is not for you.
At all.
It's absolutely not for you. When it comes, and when we talk about, marriage, it's like, one of the first things you think of is love. Love comes with a sacrifice.
Absolutely. Every time. Every time.
Love comes with a sacrifice, and it also comes with a responsibility. So here it is. If I tell you that I love you, then that means that I'm responsible even for your heart.
Yeah.
So what do I look like talking crazy? Once again, talking crazy to you when I've said I love you, and now I'm responsible for your heart. I take responsibility for that.
Yeah, you got to.
Because people don't be thinking about that. Then these are good. Like these are really good.
Yeah, definitely.
One of the things I heard years ago about marriages, this minister he asked two questions. He said, one, can you think of a person greater of the opposite sex? Can you think of a person greater than the person that you're about to marry here today? He said, if you can, this is probably not the person you need to be marrying.
Now that right there, everybody need to hear that before they get married. I think that's something that every pastor need to share. They need to get in the group chat something and say that before they say you make this the bride. Like, no. Yeah. Do you is there anybody that you can put over your woman or your husband? You know what I'm saying? That is a perfect question. Like, I'm with you on that. That was fire. That's fire.
And if you don't, here's the thing, this is a person that I'm saying I want to join life with. Why would I pick somebody that I don't hold in high esteem?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I don't admire you and I don't hold you in high esteem, I don't need to be marrying you.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
And when you go through these questions that'll help you know beforehand, like you said, before you even walk down that aisle, like, okay, maybe this ain't it. But hopefully you realize before then, but definitely those are good things to take, into consideration before.
Definitely. That's dope.
And another thing is women, I think, we don't understand how much power we have. So a lot of times, when you're having a disagreement, you ain't got to scream. You ain't got to talk wreck.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know,
Growth.
yeah, you don't have to. You know, once again, if that person knows that you have their best intentions in mind, you know, and you just say, hey, babe, you know, maybe look at this kind of way or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, think about this. You know, I think sometimes men tend to think in the moment and women think long, you know, forward.
Yep.
You know, and you need the balance, because sometimes you need to move right now and sometimes you need to consider the consequences.
Yes.
But
Absolutely.
so it's you know, just learn to, you know, the men were talking earlier about having a charming personality. You know, be sweet to your husband. You know, it's ways that you can talk to a man, and sometimes, you know, you might have to put it in a way to make him think that it was his idea.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, and that's when you have a good mate.
Yeah.
Now, if you got somebody that's raggedy, I don't have nothing to say.
Right.
Yeah.
Damn, we definitely appreciate that.
Great show, you guys.
Thank you so
We
much for
appreciate it.
calling in.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
So you got a lot of gems today.
Yeah, I got a whole lot of gems.
I did too, but it's, you know, because you want to be married.
Yes.
So it's a lot for you to, you know, take in and be like, all right, bet. This is what's about to happen.
Yeah, and I feel like it's good because the different ages and stages of life bring that, right? Like I said before, how would, you know, something before was like a no. Now it's like I can see at least what you're talking about. So I feel like at those different ages and stages of life, it puts us in a different, you know, mindset, and we, you know, in a different perspective to where we see things differently. So I'm going to take all those gems. I'm going to, you know, hold them close. Take, you know, keep what resonates, leave out what does not. But hopefully 2025 is, you know, a better year in regards to that.
I got 3 things I'm for sure taking with me from today's episode, which was amazing. What Krishan called in and said about, can you put somebody over the person you with? That's up there, right? With what Jay Cherie said. She said that take all the good memories, store them boys away, and then try to hold on to those, even in the hold on to those in those dark moments, and also record those conversations when you know they about to get heated.
Oh, that was big.
Yeah, and I never thought about that.
I never thought about that, but I'm glad I didn't record some of the older ones, because now looking back, I would have been like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'd have looked at yourself like you was a monster.
This is crazy. Yeah, no, this is crazy. Yeah. You know, so and that's a great point.
I think that's important too. The whole recording conversations in the heat of the moment, because, well, if you could remember to do it in the heat of the moment, I think what's fire about that is that, see, when people get in the heat of the moment, they remember things how they remember them.
Oh yeah.
So just when you think something might have been their fault, it might have been your fault.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's important. So yeah, those are the gems that I'm taking with me for sure.
Thank y'all. Thank everybody for listening.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate the love. Everybody that called in, man. It was a great show. So Telly, thank you, and everybody. I'll catch y'all next week, man. We out of here.
All righty.
Indeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talks with Todd.